I think this is really an important aspect of candor, is this concept around how do you take a problem, be so open and honest with yourself that you actually find a new route to a solution. And that was the case with Sylvia Lally, an incredible, amazing woman. She runs the Women's House in Lima, Peru, which is a domestic shelter for women and children. And decades she's been doing this. In decades, the police, which at the time were all men, turned a blind eye toward the crisis. So it was the same old pattern, on and on again. And she told me that she got really ticked off and she decided to create her own all-women's police force. Guess what happened? 5 years into it, the local city government in Lima realizes that these women are incredibly competent, and they integrate them with the men. 2 years more go on, and corruption drops by 31%. So my point here is that this now has started to abate. There's been a more open, candid dialogue on domestic abuse toward women, but it's been brought about by a very sort of alateral, sort of asymmetrical solution to the problem. But as she told us, she said, if I don't feel the sense of doing something entirely different, I'm never going to solve this problem. And I think that's sort of the human struggle with all of us, right? Is how do we be open and honest with ourselves, open and honest with our business associates and our family in ways that are going to really get us to move forward. And I'll leave you with this last thought. This was a guy that we interviewed in Bhutan. It is not easy to get to Bhutan, but we interviewed the secretary of the Gross National Happiness Commission. And it's incredible, right? So this is a tiny economy, a tiny, Himalayan nation, Bhutan, that has guys like me going there. They're the darlings at Davos. And the thing is this little country has hit on something, right? They've hit on this idea that you need to open the aperture on how you define GDP, right? So GDP is not just about how much money you make, it's about your environment, your education, your life, your family, and all the other things that we value and purportedly treasure. But I think the point and the reason they become such sort of a media darling is that intuitively we feel this stuff is missing in our lives. And I think that's the opportunity with the Athena Doctrine, with these types of thinkers, is to celebrate the rise of feminine values, because I truly believe we're on the cusp of a feminine age. This isn't just a couple of books. This is the idea of a larger movement toward greater ethics, greater transparency, but also sort of greater partnership in a way that's going to create more value for more people.